Hey, what's up, everyone? I have a trade in Boeing that I want to show you. You guys know that I trade a bunch of Fibonacci and that kind of stuff, squeezes. You guys hear me talk about that kind of stuff. I want to show you exactly what is going on here. I know I've showed you before. This is just another example to show you exactly how I trade when it comes to this. This is the weekly chart of Boeing. Right here, we had a weekly squeeze from about beginning of July to the end of October, so let's call that 4 months that it was in a squeeze. All right, and then once the squeeze fired, we had this rise in price right here from about, let's say, 140 to the end of the squeeze right here, let's say about 170. So $30 rise right here in this weekly squeeze alone. Now, ever since the beginning of February, when we had the nasty pullback in the market, Dow lost 1,000 points in a day and everything, there's been a lot more volatility in the market when it after that. As you can see, these weekly candles are a lot smaller candles. We had this, thank you earnings, and then the candles are just a lot smaller. Well, here you can see all of these weekly candles are so much bigger. Every one of them is so much bigger. And you're seeing a lot more volatility when it comes to here. 347 or 374 was the high of this. And then let's say 3 weeks later, we're down at 327. So you get a lot more volatility ever since that beginning of February reset, or not reset, but pullback that we had in the market. Get a lot more volatility, so a lot bigger candles, a lot more price movement and fluctuation, which is cool. It's great for options traders. So we have another weekly squeeze here. This one has started the beginning of May, and it is already the middle of September. So this has been about 4 weeks, or 4 months again. About the same amount of time as this one before it fired long. Here we have another one that's been about 4 months. And we are off and running. We've cleared the previous swing high here. We have cleared that this week, had a pullback here, and then we have cleared it with this candle here. So there we are on our way. Now let's drop back down to a daily chart, and we will zoom into this right here. We had a daily squeeze back here, all right? Once this daily squeeze has fired long, that bodes very well for our weekly squeeze. See, we've had a couple of daily squeezes in here when it comes to since that February pullback back in here. We've had a couple more daily squeezes, but that was without a weekly squeeze. Now we had a daily squeeze that has fired long, along with our weekly squeeze that is setting up. Okay? And since we've cleared the previous swing high here, we are well on our way. Now, let me show you how I am trading this right now. Let me bring down the trade screen. Okay, here is my thinkorswim trade screen. I had purchased a call back on 9/10, all the way out to December. All right, there's a 400 strike call for 252, and I was filled. All right, keep that in mind. Okay, let me detach my screen over here that shows you everything else. Let me get you Boeing on here. And that will do it. Okay, let me bring it over here so you guys can see. Right here is our Boeing long call, 21 December. Purchased it for $252. Currently trading for $7.22. It is very well on our way. Currently at a profit built in right now, unrealized, of $400.70, or it's $470.50. So it's about 186% on that call option currently. That is unrealized gains. Now, if anybody knows me, I'm not just going to sit on a call option till December and just sit here and twiddle my thumbs and watch it go. Nah, I am going to be a lot more active than that. So what have I done to be more active when it comes to waiting on a long call to fulfill itself? Sell put credit spreads. So we are selling premium when it comes to that. So back on, let me bring this one back down so you can see it. Back on 9/17, I sold this put credit spread. I sold 2 of them in Boeing for the 5 October strike, the 350 by 347 half for 62 cents, and I was filled. So that was sold for 62 cents. And then, let me get this out of the way. Let's go back to a daily. Right here, This is 17 right here. What I did is, as I'm not watching Boeing go bid here, I'm not just going to sell put credit spreads against that. You have to wait for a pullback, okay? You have to wait until odds are back in your favor when it comes to putting on a new trade. You can't just chase the market like that. That's a great way to get run over by a pullback. If I were to sell this put credit spread way up here thinking, oh, the market's running away from me, I would have to have waited for this all the way back down into the 8 EMA and then wait for it to trade up the next day and everything. But instead, and then say if I were to sell it here, wait for this trade down here, then we get to here, I'm still break even at this point. I got to wait for at least to here until I can close this trade out. So I waited until it came down to the 8 EMA right here after our daily squeeze had, actually it was still in a squeeze this day, which was great. It comes back at the 8 EMA, sell the put credit spread here, and then watch it trade up into here. I had closed it on 920, which is right here. I had closed it on 920. I bought it back for 20 cents, and I was filled. So two of them made about $84 on that. That's just bringing an extra premium into my account while the actual underlying goes my way for my long trade on the December option, waiting for the weekly squeeze to fire long. So that is where I went with that. And then I again bought that back yesterday, and then waiting for another opportunity to be able to sell another put credit spread. Now, like I had said back here, I had bought it back here. I could have waited until a pullback into the 8 EMA to sell another one, but today's Friday. Now, if everyone knows how theta decay works over the weekend also. It's not just on trading days. Theta decay is for every day. So when I'm trying to sell a put credit spread, I always try to do those on Friday for the next week because I get 2 days of theta decay that goes into my account from that long, or from the short strike I had sold, which is worth more, has more theta decay. So it's a theta positive position, which means the theta decay goes into my account. So that being said, I sold another one today. Again, yes, we had a very good update today, but I sold it earlier today. So we had one today that we sold, the 370 by 367 half for 95 cents. I sold two more of these. Currently it's trading at 95 half, which no big deal. I'm only down $1. Whoop-de-doo. Looking for next week to have more positive price action with that daily squeeze that is fired and the weekly squeeze that's really getting going for us. So currently have this credit spread on right now, 95 cents, trading for 95 half. I'm only down $1, no big deal. 7 days till expiration because it expires next Friday. So I got a little bit more aggressive with this one. This one was all the way out until October, but we had excellent price movement this week. So I was able to buy this back this week and resell another one for an even shorter date. Looking for next week to trade up. I sold this one out of the money. I sold this one out of the money. One strike out of the money. Just give myself a little bit of a buffer in case we had a couple dollar pullback. So right now we're at 372. No big deal. If we get a pullback to the 8 EMA of another $10 back in the 8 EMA, I will be a seller of another put credit spread. Okay, I really like the way this Boeing chart is acting right now. And any pullback in the 8 EMA is an opportunity to sell another put credit spread. So that is what I will do. But I wanted that on the books so that I got the theta decay over the weekend. That basically just drops it right into my account on Monday, which is awesome. The market does anything like it did this week, next week, Boeing should be great. We had the diamonds, or the Dow was on fire this week. The NASDAQ was ES was all right, but the Dow was just on fire this week. And Boeing is a Dow component, which is excellent. This is what happened when the Dow takes off and your underlying is traded is part of the Dow Industrial Average. So that's what I got going on in Boeing currently. I hope everybody had a green week. I hope everybody has a great trading week next week, and I will hit you guys on the flip side.